Hello and welcome to this episode of the How to Choose Happiness Show. I'm your host, Lauren Foster, along with the beautiful little Dilly. I've been out of town for about 4 days, so my kitty cats really missed me, so they've been clinging pretty
Hello and
closely.
welcome to this episode of the How to Choose Happiness Show. I'm your host, Lauren Foster.
There's a technical glitch. Okay, so I have my personal thing over here so that I can see who's watching from this direction. So, hi, Maverick. Hi, Eddie. Oh, Maverick, I have a project for you coming up. And my Tammy is here, of course, as well. So, thank you so much for being here. This is the show where we teach you how to claim your personal creative power to create your life just exactly the way that you want to. So I'm always hoping and always curious as to whether you really believe that you are empowered to create your life, because I see so many people out in the world who are not. They are looking around in the world for what they can have, what they can get, what they can settle for, instead of working the way we're teaching from an inside out perspective, where you figure out what it is that you want, and then you look around and you allow the universe to deliver that to you, and you allow yourself to get curious about where this might be, and learn to enjoy that journey. So that's the whole story here. And so how do you know if you are living an empowered life or not? Well, you'll be happy. If you're creating your life on purpose and you are understanding that the only things you can control are your actions and your perspective, then you're going to choose to manage your perspective and therefore create actions that are bringing you through the world in the way that you want to be. So everything that we're teaching here is that this concept of it being an inside out universe, it starts with me. And this month we're talking about relationships. It's actually kind of a long month, so we've got 9 episodes in this month. And so today I'm going to give you kind of an overview and touch on what it means to have a great relationship with yourself, and give you some things to be thinking about. And then on Thursday we'll come back with some real actionable things that you can literally do to begin to be your own best friend, to, have a great relationship with yourself and be the best half of all of your other relationships, and begin with that amazing and strong foundation. So I'm feeling a little bit out of sorts this morning. Again, I was traveling this weekend for my best friend's wedding. I was her minister, and of course I'm her best friend. So I wanted to be exactly what she needed me to be at every single moment, and still, take care of myself and maintain my energy so that I could show up and be exactly what she needed. So, how do you do that? First of all, you ask, tell me exactly how I can be of the best service to you, and build relationships where the people are very comfortable saying, I need you to do this. Even if it's scrub the toilet, even if it's, whatever it is, if you have the type of relationship where you can count on one another, then everything is smooth and clear. So her wedding was beautiful, and I had an amazing time, and everything went just awesomely. So it was a great experience for all of us. And so I returned home yesterday a little bit behind on different work projects and things like that, and a little bit tired and driving in the rain and all that. But all in all, it was totally a yes and weekend, where I fulfilled my fondest desire to be a great friend to my best friend, and also to have an amazing experience from my own point of view. So how are you looking at your life? Are you looking at all of your opportunities as yes and? Yes, I can be happy and healthy and strong and take great care of myself, and be and fulfill all of the other roles in my life that I want. I can be a great sister, a great friend, a great wife, a great mother, a great daughter, a great community member, a great leader. Whatever it is that you choose to do in this world, you can do it with ease and grace and still have all of your needs met and have your life be amazing. You just have to believe it and insist on it. And that's where we start. So this morning, in addition to all of the catching up things, a giant tornado hit my hometown, my my old neighborhood, not actually where I was born, but where I've lived most of my adult life when I was staying put over in East Nashville. And so a lot of this morning has been spent catching up and making sure that everybody that I love is okay, and that, just checking in and trying to be there in whatever way that I can from this distance. And so this is such an amazing opportunity to demonstrate what your perspective can be about something that you absolutely cannot control. The weather, there's nothing you can do about whether a tornado is going to hit your neighborhood or not. So this is one of those things that you totally get to choose your perspective. And this is another question that I want you to ask yourself is, do you believe most people in the world are good? Or do you believe most people in the world are bad and out to get you? This is a really important question, because what your belief is how the world is going to present itself to you. And so if you are finding that you're being taken advantage of, you're being a victim, you're being victimized and abused, take a look at what you're expecting, because there's a whole Facebook page on reporting on the tornado. And of course, a lot of people are just checking in and saying, I'm grateful and I'm here. But 90% of the posts on there are people saying, how can I help? I have these resources. How does anybody need them? Does anybody need this? Can I help you with this? There was one guy who the roof was gone from his house and he couldn't get out of his house, and he posted, and there was a whole stream of people just keeping track and sharing and trying to figure out how they can help. This is what human beings are really like at our soul, people. You know what I mean? And if you choose to believe this and see the 90+% of the time that we're being heroes, that we're being kind, that we're being generous and loving and helpful to one another, instead of listening to the media that's going to tell you that we're killing each other every minute and we're robbing each other every minute and the whole world is full of tragedy. Choose what you're going to let into your brain. Choose what you're going to pay attention to and what you're going to think about and where you're going to put your energy. So I was just very happy I got through all of that without crying, because I was just so touched and moved at my old neighbors and how everyone is just rallying to help one another. And it is a special neighborhood, but it's not that much more special than the rest of the world. We're all like this. This is what humanity is all about. And you'll see it if that's what you choose to look for. So yes, property was destroyed. Yes, lives were lost. Yes, there were tragic and heartbreaking things that happened as a result of this. And we can sit around and cry and moan and be upset about those things, or we can look at the friendships that are strengthened, the bonds that are formed between people that are out helping one another and showing up at their best in this sort of situation, and appreciating the reminder of the preciousness and the shortness of life. And remember that tomorrow could be the day that your roof is ripped off or your loved one is taken away. And why not relish every minute that you have? This might be the last day. Why not make it the very best one you've had so far? So there are gifts in everything, no matter how tragic it might appear to be. And it's up to us to look for them, to look for all that. So, all right, so we're reminding one another to live fully, and we're learning this month to claim our power by using our relationships as a focal point for that. The whole message is about your creative power. We're having a structure each month where we're choosing a different topic because it helps us to learn. It helps us to have a way to focus and to actually teach our brains in a systematic way to think in a different way. So looking at our relationships give us great evidence as to what our beliefs are and how we're creating in the world. So, and everything starts with you. So what is your relationship with yourself? Ask yourself these questions. So the overview of the month, this week we're going to talk about your relationship with yourself. Next week, we're going to move on to our most intimate relationships, our spouse, the people closest to us. And of course, I have a beautiful, sweet wedding that's brought material for that for next week. And then the week after that, we're going to expand a little bit further into your family and your close community and your friends. And then in our last week, we will talk about how you see yourself as a part of the global community. You know, what you're doing in the world. What is your relationship with your state, with your country, with the whole entire world, which is getting to be so close and so accessible and so connected. You know, there are likely people watching this video right now that are the other side of the globe from me, and yet we're able to connect in this way. We're able to reach each other and speak to one another. So this week in our intimate relationships, think back to our month on the power of words. I'm sorry, in our personal relationships with ourselves. Intimate relationships is next week. So what types of things do you say to yourself? When you look at your body in the mirror, what sort of interaction do you have? Do you say, I hate my fat belly? I hate my limp hair? You know, whatever. Are you saying negative, mean things? I don't even like to give examples. Are you being mean to yourself? Are you allowing yourself to go out in the world and take chances and not be afraid of failing, because you know you've got your own back. You know that there's no such thing as failing, that you can either win or you can learn. You can accomplish what it is you set out to do, or you can learn one way how not to do it, or learn one way how to do it if it needs tweaking, or if you refuse to accept failure, then you will always get what you want eventually. Just have to have the patience and the willingness to show up each and every day and take the next steps that you can see. So when you fail, what kinds of things do you say to yourself? Do you say, oh my God, I can't believe you did this again? Or you are so stupid. Why did you even think you could succeed at this? What kinds of things are you saying to yourself within your own mind? And keep in mind, you are not your mind. You have a mind. You are a divine soul. You're the being that is listening to and observing what your mind is saying. And you can pay attention to it or not exactly as much as you want to. Just like if somebody sat down beside you on the bus and they were rambling and ranting and raving about whatever, you could either choose to listen to them and go, huh, you're interesting, or you can go, you know what, you got nothing to say that's going to be of help to me or interest to me. And you can do the same thing with your own mind. You know, don't do this. Don't do these things that are not serving this entity, which is us, my mind, my body, and my soul. So we'll be back on Thursday to talk more about how you take really good care of yourself, how you say really good things to yourself. I'm going to bring several different examples of things that you can do that will help to build your self-esteem and increase your self-awareness and your self-love and your willingness to take care of yourself first, so that you're certain your vessel is always filled up and ready to give in the ways that you want to give. One way that you can go ahead and get started on is to download the Empowerment Through Journaling exercise and do it. Play with this and explore this and see how you feel when you're choosing your thoughts on purpose, when you're picking out a thought for the day that's your tool, that's your trigger that you can go back to make yourself feel better at any time, that you're giving yourself your wins at the end of the day. All 5 of the exercises in the Empowerment Through Journaling worksheet, workbook, PDF, whatever you want to call it, will be very helpful for you in this area and all areas of your life. So I appreciate you being here. I don't really know. Okay, so comments, questions, I don't know. I'll come back and answer any questions that there are through text. So if you have something that you want to know more about, or you just want to share, please feel free to do that in the comments, and Tammy and I will interact with you all day long, because we absolutely love that. And it lets me know that I'm not just sitting here alone behind this camera on the side of the mountain with only Dilly and Rocky keeping me company. So. All right, I'm going to be back here at 11:30 Eastern Time on Thursday. And in the meantime, you remember that happiness is a choice, and you can always choose to be happy first. See you Thursday.